Before we get into the video, I just want to let everybody know that I will be attending the Harley-Davidson Thunder Road 200 at South Boston Speedway. It's one of the biggest late model races in Virginia. It is a crown jewel race. The race will take place on June 29th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and also the race will be broadcast on Flow Racing, so that is a way you can actually watch the race from your home. So cue the intro.
And I don't even know no more. Rolling down the strip in my two-door Chevrolet, and the wheels keep turning. And I don't even know no more. Rolling up the block in my two-tone black and gray, yeah. And the wheels keep turning. I don't even know no more.
How's it going, everybody? I'm Spoke13 and welcome back to another NASCAR pickups video. I know it's been like 5 months since the last one, but at the time I didn't have a lot of NASCAR stuff and just let it all piled up until it's time to finally release the video. Got a lot of diecast to show off and got some stuff that I have gotten from previous races I've been to, including Martinsville. I've never shown any of that, so let's get right into it. I'm going to show you the stuff that I picked up at Martinsville, and yes, I know Martinsville happened about 2 months ago, so let's get into it. The first thing I'm going to show you is the program that I picked up, and on the back of it it's got Ross Chastain. What I liked about the cover is it's got the 40th anniversary of Hendrick Motorsports, and it all started at Martinsville, where it's got pictures of cars and it's got pictures of Rick Hendrick, and it's got the drivers that have accomplished a victory at Martinsville. Then you have the sponsorships for the races for that weekend. This is one of the coolest ones. Actually seeing William Byron winning the race for Hendrick, so that was pretty cool. The next one is this beautiful race pin that we got. It is a bag of fries. It is an interactive pin where the fries will rise out of it. I am a fan of Cookout myself, and it's really cool seeing Cookout being a huge sponsorship for NASCAR and also doing like the Southern 500 in the fall. So it's pretty cool seeing Cookout expand their sponsorships to other racetracks, and they're also going to sponsor at Richmond soon again, so that's cool. Now the next one that I have, it's not a limited edition, but it is a white Martinsville hat, pretty much kind of like a Victory Lane type of hat, and it also has a couple signatures. I did meet a couple drivers when I was there. I met Kyle Larson, I met Ricky Stenhouse, Chase Briscoe, and I also met Chris Buescher as well. And if you watch the video, there were the Fox Sports crew guys everywhere with the cameras, and had like Clint Boyer, Chris Myers, Kevin Harvick as well. They were in front of us, and a lot of drivers couldn't get to us to sign autographs, but luckily a couple of them did go through. That's the result of these signatures on here, and it was cool meeting Kyle Larson again. I was really happy to meet him again. I really wish I was able to get the other guys to sign the diecast. It was okay. Maybe it happens all the time. Can't wait to try to do it again when I head to the Brickyard. So my grandma found this and she gave it to me, and this is a NASCAR pole position from 2011, as it's got Kyle Busch on the front cover of it. I actually do have a couple of the pole position magazines in my collection, but I actually didn't have this one, so it was really cool that she finally found it and gave it to me. So this is basically like a postcard for renew your tickets at a track, and I actually kept this. This is a Food City 500 for Bristol, and it's got Chase Elliott. And what I really like about this is the retro look of the Food City 500 logo on it, and I decided to keep this. I thought this would be really cool to have and just have a bunch of drivers to autograph it. Decided to keep it and add it to the collection. I actually went to a Ross in Danville, Virginia, and they actually have this Bubba Wallace Funko Pop, the Dr. Pepper one. I didn't have this one. I had the Richard Petty one. I did not have the Dr. Pepper one. They had a bunch of these for $5, and I picked one up because I didn't have this one and added it to the collection. I actually found this at Target. This is the DuPont Rainbow Warrior Jeff Gordon. I actually have the Dale Sr. one as well. I have the Intimidator version of it, and then they actually have the Wrangler version for the Intimidator. I couldn't find that one, but they did have this one at the time. I think I saw one of these kind of like it last year, which it was a Jeff Gordon. I could be wrong. This might be a new version of it. I'm not too sure. I didn't have this one and I picked it up. I know what y'all are excited for, and I'm finally happy to show every single one of y'all. We got a bunch of diecasts to show you. All right, the first diecast I'm going to show you is the Christopher Bell car, the DeWalt car. Love this paint scheme. I thought this car looks pretty good, especially in person. I've seen this car multiple times at a race last year, and it's a nice looking DeWalt paint scheme. One of my absolute favorite paint schemes from 2023, and it's the Brad Keselowski Casserole Edge with the black, and it's got a pretty cool looking green and red on it, and also it's pretty much the same scheme for the Chris Buescher car. Seeing this car in person with the Chrome 6 on it just looks absolutely amazing. Now this one is a little bit different to get used to, and it is the Interstate Batteries Denny Hamlin car. As many of y'all know, I'm so used to seeing him in the FedEx car instead of a different sponsorship and paint scheme. Pretty nice, especially with the lightning design on it. I thought it looks pretty cool, and it really pops out for sure. Next one we have is the Interstate Batteries of Ty Gibbs. I actually don't have that many Ty Gibbs diecasts in my collection, and once I found the Interstate Batteries 54, I had to pick it up. Funny story, I actually would have this diecast a lot earlier, but it didn't want to scan when I tried to pick it up at Target, and this is the Todd Gilliland number 38 generator car. I do love this paint scheme. This paint scheme really unique about it. I love the red on it. I think the red really makes it look good on it. Next one is the Kyle Larson HendrickCars.com. Very recognizable paint scheme for Ricky Hendrick. We've seen this paint scheme gone to victory lane multiple times. It means so much to Rick Hendrick and the whole organization when they see this paint scheme in victory lane. Next one we have is the number 84 Carvana Jimmy Johnson. As Jimmy Johnson does select starts in the Cup Series, I do like the dark blue on it. It does look really good, and he will be at the Brickyard this year, which I'm absolutely excited for because he's won there multiple times, and it's great to finally see 7-time back in a stock car. We have a NASCAR legend in my hand right now, and it is a Cale Yarborough number 28. This is the 75th anniversary diecast when they did a NASCAR 75th anniversary box collection for the 164, and they actually start selling these individually as well, and I actually got the Cale Yarborough, which I'm pretty happy I finally got this one. I want to get the rest of them. Having no luck finding it, but luckily I was able to find this one out in the wild. So another 75th win anniversary diecast I have is a Jimmy Johnson, back when he was dominating in the Hendrick 48 car, winning 7 champions. And again, these are still kind of hard to find out in the wild, but luckily I was able to find this one, and this is the only one I was able to find. Same thing for the Cale Yarborough car. Next one we have is a Kimi Räikkönen. I've been trying to get all the Kimi Räikkönen 164s, and right now I do have all of them, and I hopefully want to see him back in a NASCAR stock car again because I always like the Iceman, and it's really cool seeing guys that raced in like F1 join the NASCAR, even from IndyCar, and now we got supercar drivers like Shane Van Gisbergen racing in NASCAR and already won 2 Xfinity races right now. As he announced his retirement last week at Iowa, we have a Mark Truex Jr. diecast. It actually did hit a little bit once he announced his retirement, but I always love Truex, I always respect him, always been a great guy, met him a couple times. I can't wait to see what he does next in the future, and I do love this paint scheme because of the gray camouflage look to it. It does look really good, especially with the orange making it look better. We have a Chase Elliott Lumar Windows Films paint scheme. As many of y'all know, Lumar does come up with some crazy paint schemes, and this is one of them. I think the teal 9 looks pretty good, especially on the rooftop with the black on it. I thought it looks pretty cool, but either way, another Chase Elliott diecast added to the collection. Now, I just recently picked this up last Thursday, and this is the Chase Briscoe number 14 Mahindra tractors with Tony Stewart on the side, if you can tell. And just, you know, recently we just found out SHR is closing his doors at the end of this season, and this is the only diecast they had at my Walmart, and I didn't have it, so I picked it up. I actually struck gold at a Target not too long ago. We have the Zane Smith Coda Win, where he did a awesome burnout, and it blew and burned the side of the truck. Just a pretty cool looking race win version, especially with the side that was caught on fire during his burnout. I was actually at this race. This is the Bristol Dirt number 20 DeWalt Christopher Bell diecast. This is the very last Bristol Dirt race they held at Bristol, then they went back to concrete this season. I went to every single Bristol Dirt race they hosted. A lot of fun, and it was fun while it lasted. And Christopher Bell, which he is a former dirt racer, goes on to win the final Bristol Dirt Cup race they held. I always like Christopher Bell, really nice guy. Hopefully I can meet him again at Indy. Now, another race I was at, and the first time I ever been to this track, it is Atlanta, and this is the Joey Logano 2023 Atlanta win in the spring. This is his only win he had back in 2023, which is pretty crazy if you ask me. It's insane this is his only win he had in 2023 after winning the championship in 2022. But nevertheless, seeing Joey Logano pull off a incredible final lap pass on Brad Keselowski, he puts on a great freaking burnout every time he wins a race. Pretty cool being at Atlanta for the first time. Very cold that day. Okay, the next one are pretty much like the Gold Series. We have the Martinsville program car, and it's kind of unique. It's got the grandfather clock on the side of it, and then also on that side, which you can see it a little bit better, which is pretty cool. The next one is the Good Wrench 2001 Kevin Harvick Atlanta win. I actually got this diecast a couple months ago, and it's the known race that Kevin Harvick in his third start, I believe, in his career, and goes on to win at Atlanta in the Cup Series for his very first win ever. And this is just after the passing of Dale Sr. as well. And when Kevin Harvick won Atlanta that year, it was a huge moment in NASCAR, and I didn't have this Kevin Harvick car ever in my collection, and once they re-released this one, I picked it up. The next one is the Dale Sr. Coca-Cola 600 from 1993 win. This is the 30th anniversary of this car. You can see it a lot better on this side, and on the other side you see the number 3 Good Wrench on it, and that's the better side because the NASCAR Classic logo blocks most of the view. I've been trying to go out to find as many of the NASCAR Classic diecasts out there because I love collecting these because of the history and what the car means a lot in NASCAR and that win in general. But once I finally found this one, I actually recently picked this up about a couple weeks ago from Pert. Hopefully soon they will be making more NASCAR Dale Sr. Classics in the future, which I'm really looking forward to it, and I can't wait to see what comes out next. So this is the 2023 Ally Miami paint scheme of Alex Bowman. I really love this paint scheme. It's a special paint scheme they ran at Homestead. Usually pretty much every year he'll run a special paint scheme in Miami. Love the blue on it. The blue really shines on it, and even the, if you can see, but the purple and pink on it really shines on it really well on the hood. But I love this actual paint scheme. I think it looks pretty good, and they'll probably do another one for Homestead again, and just can't wait to see the design again. Now the last 1/64 diecast I got is finally the 2024 Alex Bowman LA Chevrolet. I actually got this at Martinsville from Meads Motorsports. Dennis, the store owner, really great guy, makes great deals on his stuff. I love the purple on this paint scheme. I think it looks really good in person. Finally, since I got his 2024 car, trying to get all of Alex Bowman's 164s that are releasing so far this year. All right, now it's time to show you the final bit for this video, and it is the 124 diecast. Let's get to it. So the first one I'm going to show you is a truck win, and it's a first truck win as well in his career, and it is a Christian Eckes Napa number 19 Auto Care diecast. This is his Atlanta win, his very first truck win in his career. He actually goes on to win a couple more races. I do remember him winning at Darlington for Throwback Weekend, but they never made that diecast. I really wish they did because, you know, I always get race win versions of the races I go to, no matter who it is. It's just part of history and just being there and seeing it all happen. And I have to admit, this is one of my all-time favorite Napa paint schemes. This truck just freaking popped. I show you the 164 of that car. Now it's time to show you the 124 of Christopher Bell's Bristol Dirt win, as this one has better detail with the dirt on it, and it's got dirt on the rear window. And what's awesome about it, it's got all of the tire marks on the car and everything, and it looks really good. And this is actually one of the diecasts I'm going to take with me when I go to Indy, try to get this car signed. I actually picked up this diecast at Martinsville as well because I didn't have it. Came very close to trying to get it signed by Christopher Bell. We'll try again at Indy and try to get it signed by him. Just a really cool looking paint scheme for sure, and love the blue mixed with the chrome 20 on it. It just looks amazing on it. Next one is the William Byron 124 Darlington Goodyear 400 win from 2023. What I remember from that race weekend is he was running up there in the top 5 pretty much all day, so he really had a really good car that whole race. And then with the issue with the big one happening, and then Kyle Larson and Ross Chastain get together, it was pretty much over. And then once that restart happened, William Byron just shot out like a cannon and took the lead away from Kevin Harvick. Goes on to win Darlington. It is a Jeff Gordon throwback, and the way how the car was in person, where it had the reflection to it, car looks really unique about it, and loved it. And it's got a lot of confetti on it for sure, and that's what makes this car really cool looking. And this is also one of the cars I'm going to take when I go to Indy. Beautiful looking diecast. The only thing about this is the Chevrolet logo is down on it instead of upward, but it doesn't bug me that much. But either way, beautiful looking throwback. Now the last diecast I have is very special because I was able to support this and actually got my name on this diecast, and my friends were able to sponsor this card and make it happen. And it's the Daily Downforce number 78 BJ McLeod car, and on the top of it, it's got like Eric Estep, Darian, it's got Danny V Talks on it, Iceberg, and it's got the Scene Velt and it's got garage guys on it. Really cool guys to talk to, really cool people to meet. This is the diecast right here. This car was also ran at Darlington for the Goodyear 400 last year, and was really cool to see that car in person and race. And the funny story about it is when Eric Estep and Darian and Danny B and Iceberg, when they were at the racetrack, I actually talked to Darian on the phone and told him to turn around. I was at the grandstand waving at him. I really wish I was able to meet them again when they were doing like the fan thing. They were giving out like posters and cool stuff. Wish I was able to meet them again because I have a lot of respect and been friends with them for a pretty good while. And it's just really cool seeing them progressive in their careers and being able to sponsor real race cars like this one. Hopefully sooner or later I will try to meet my friends again and have them sign this diecast for me. It would mean a lot to me, and it's just such a beautiful piece to have in the collection. Thank y'all so much for watching this video. If you want more NASCAR pickups video, all you got to do is hit that like button and subscribe for more of that content. You can also follow me on X, and you can also follow me on TikTok at SmokeCarbon13. You can also follow me at Threads and Instagram at NicholasCarbon13. It would mean so much for the support and for me to keep going. Hopefully I'll be able to come back and post videos weekly. I know I have been absent from YouTube, but don't forget I also do live reaction streams for the Cup race every Sunday. Thank you all so much. I love every single one of y'all, and just remember, stay gold.